Hi, AT from CNC at Home. In today's video on the cribbage board, we're going to cover the actual hole pattern on the front of the cribbage board. To do this, I actually coded this up in an Excel spreadsheet. I did all the calculations based off of the diameter and some other parameters that I had. I'll throw those pictures of the spreadsheet up here so you can see those. But based off of that, I created my G-code as calculations within Excel, not only for the hole patterns going around, but then the lines that separate every 5 holes that go around there. So on the board, this is obviously the back side, but it'll be at the start, there'll be 3 tracks of holes that go around the track, so 120 holes in each one of the tracks. And then in the center, on the front side, then there'll be a single hole, that will be the winner's hole. Then, right at the top, there'll be a long line that gets cut. And then in between every 5 holes, so every 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way around, there'll be a short line to just break those up into chunks of 5. That's kind of a standard cribbage board thing. So that obviously won't go on the back, that'll go on the front of the cribbage board. So one of the issues, to bring this back up, this is bigger than the Jinmitsu 3018 travel. This dimension in X is fine. This dimension, not so good. So what I did was, that hole in the middle that I was talking about, that's actually my center point for the entire pattern. And I drilled that first. And then I went through and I did this quarter and then the last quarter of holes. I did a tool change with this still clamped in position, and then I did the lines going around basically the top half of the board. Then I went back to my straight cut bit, my 1/8 inch straight cut bit, centered that right in the middle, put it down in the hole, unclamped the part, and rotated it 180 degrees. I lightly clamped it in place, pulled the tool up, had it move over to where I know where the hole is over here from the code. I know exactly where that hole is, and I brought it down to see how it was lined up. After a couple attempts of slight rotation, I got it lined up perfectly to go in that hole. Then I tested the one on this side perfectly in that hole, went back to the middle, set my 0, and started cutting, again, holes here, and then the holes here, and then the lines for that side. So even though this piece is bigger than my machine, I was able to get that pattern cut all the way around it. So let's take a look at the video. Since I wrote this code by hand, I wanted to test it to ensure that I was getting the hole pattern that I wanted. The hole pattern looks good. That will be symmetrical when I rotate my part 180 degrees. The next thing I'm going to test are the lines that go in between every 5 sets of holes, see if that's working correctly. So that involves a tool change. So I'm going to take this bit out and put in a 20-degree V-bit. Since there's plenty of room on this piece of material, I'm going to go ahead and use my touchpad to set my 0 point. I have a macro set up to do this. As soon as it touches the touchpad, it'll back up a couple millimeters and reset at the 0 point. And the 0 now is down at the surface of the material. Let's try test cut on those lines. So you're asking, why did AT put tape down on the board before he cut some of the lines? This is a test to see if it'll cut through the masking tape well enough to use it as a mask for painting these lines darker. That's all. I've added the weight to help keep this down, as I only have one clamp on top. I do have a side clamp over here to keep it from rotating, but I need something else to hold it down. So this 5-pound chunk of iron will help do that.
When the movement needs to come over here, I'll have to get this out of the way, so I need to keep an eye on it. Alright, now we get to change the tool and draw some lines. Okay, here's the second half. The code wants to re-drill the center hole. I forgot about that. So we'll let it do it. Okay, we're going to change this straight cut bit for our V bit and cut the lines. That is it. That's all the cutting that we need to do to keep score. What do you think? I think it turned out well. On the back side, we've got our pocket that we cut out, and then we've got our cover for the pocket. Just need to get the magnets mounted on that. Next step will be to, actually this is right side up. This is our long line. This is our starting point. Next thing is to take it over to the laser. I'm going to mark the word start here. Put a couple skunk tails over here. And put a skunk tail over here. And then we'll do something with the middle here. Have to figure that out yet. Looking good.
Oops.
Hi, I'm AT from CNC at Home. If you like our content, help support our channel by clicking on subscribe and liking our videos. Thank you for watching this video. Have fun with your CNC at Home projects.